Check, check. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody is doing well. Welcome to track number 2, Flat Track Fever 2026. My name is Mike the Mike. We're into the first game in about 2 minutes. We have up for you the Tri-City Roller Derby Thunder, and they are playing Nuclear Free Roller Derby, the NF Bombs. So just to introduce these two fabulous teams to you, we're going to go by the numbers. Number 0 on the Tri-Cities is Robbins. Number 10, Valkyrie. 100 is Big Popper. 1013, Virus. 1070, Pyromagniac. 1812, Nerdy Birdie. 1985 is Phoenix. 20 is Dangerous. Wearing the C, number 266, Smashin' Good Time. 303 is Ashfield. 52, Sid Happens. 5446, Candy Crossbones. 58, Slasquatch. 67, Ziggy Stark Stardust. 71 is Maggie Middleton. And that is our Thunder. For the Bombs, we have 1111, Joe Means Joe. 113, Dank the Tank. 1430 is Red Streaks. 18 is Blade. 22, Sriracha. 315, Toast and Jam. 4242, Smash and Dash. 4468, Guns Akimbo. 56, Mac Daddy. 576, Miss Koozie. 713 is Rennie. 75, Bam. 8, Dame Tamer. 911, Killerella. And last but not least, number 999 is Huntress. We are going to get ready very shortly. We have skaters hitting the track. We have refs on board. Welcome to everybody on Mother's Day here at Flat Track Fever 2020. Day number 3. Quick shout out to all the mums out there, of course. Everyone has one. While the skaters are getting ready, we are just going to mention that we are here on track number 2, the West Legal track, with a jam line sponsored by Trail Appliances. The pivot line is WFTDI Canada. The penalty box is Genuine. And of course, we have a lot of vendors here who we couldn't be doing this without. And a quick shout out to our Zebra crew, our NSO crew, our technical crew, everybody else who helped put today on, this whole weekend. We're here for the 3 days. This is day number 3. So as you can see, we have skaters on the track. First 2 jammers are ready. Jamming for the bombs is Joe Means Joe, and jamming for Thunder is Birdie. Just waiting now for the refs to do their final checks and get the clock set up. There's the first whistle. Tailgate as the game is about to start. And they're off. Both jammers fighting for position, of course. Birdie takes a break on the outside line, rushes down to turn number 1, but gets recycled back by the bombs. Joe Means Joe still up against the 4 blockers from Thunder right up at the front of the pack. And Birdie coming out, getting caught up by Huntress. It is Joe Means Joe out first, but not being given lead. Joe Means Joe back into the pack. And Joe Means Joe up at the front of the pack, fighting up against the Thunder tripod, now a 4-wall. And Joe Means Joe makes a break for it, puts the first 4 points on the board for the bombs. Birdie now in a scoring position as well. So both jammers heading round to the pack for Joe Means Joe's second pass, Birdie's first pass. Joe Means Joe taking a quick look behind them. Sees Birdie right there. Both jammers now in the pack looking for points. Joe Means Joe makes an easy break on the inside line, puts another 4 points on the board for the bombs, and calls it off. 1 point up there for Thunder. Next 2 jammers are already on the track. For the bombs, it's Sriracha. And for Thunder, it is Big Papa. Papa making a break on the outside line, picking up lead for Thunder. Sriracha getting recycled to the back of the pack. Thunder coming around to hit the pack. 4 points now. Big Papa getting recycled. And we have a star pass. That is Toast and Jam with the star for the bombs now, with the star going on the helmet. Big Papa still fighting to get through. Making a break, calling it. With 4 on the board for Thunder as well. 1 point being given to the bombs. Mac Daddy taking the next star for the Bombs. And Ziggy Stardust for Thunder. And it is the Bombs with lead. Mac Daddy out fast. Ziggy also out in a scoring position, chasing down Mac Daddy. Mac Daddy hits the pack first on the outside line and calls it. Mac Daddy got called for a cutting penalty right at the death there. Gone into the penalty box, so it's a power jam. First power jam of today's game for Thunder. Birdie going to be taking the star for Thunder. Already up on the track. Birdie making a break on the outside line, getting caught up by Dame Recycled. And there they go. Lead obviously going to Thunder in this power jam. Birdie back into the pack. Mac Daddy now back on the track, having been released from the penalty box and serving the 30-second penalty. Mac Daddy does have to do their initial pass. Both jammers getting recycled. Mac Daddy now in a scoring position. Birdie calls it off. Just a quick note, tournament MVP will close at halftime of the 3 p.m. game today, so please vote. The QR code is at the CCRD merch table and posted on socials. And all the posters near the entrance to the rink. Smash and Dash taking the next star for the Bombs, and Big Papa for Thunder. And it is a power jam for the Bombs. It's a cutting penalty for Thunder. Oh, cutting penalty for Smash and Dash as well. That gives us the Jammer musical chairs. There they go. Big Papa getting released straight away. Smash and Dash going to serve out a shortened penalty. Same time that Big Papa serves. So a short power jam. Big Papa back on the track. Smash and Dash being released from the penalty box as well. Back on the track as well. Smash and Dash breaks out of the pack first. Puts themselves into a scoring position. Not lead, of course. Both jammers having been to the box. But here comes Smash and Dash looking for points back to the pack. Big Papa out of the pack as well in a scoring position. Big Papa coming around to the pack as well. Both jammers now caught up by the blockers. Some solid blocking from both teams. Nobody's going anywhere right now. Smash and Dash being recycled right the way back. And finally, Big Papa through with the first 4 points on the board for Thunder. Big Papa back in as the jam times out. 3 points being given to the Bombs. So after 5 jams, we are Thunder with 13 points and the Bombs at 15 points. Next 2 jammers up, Ziggy for Thunder and Joe Means Joe for the Bombs. Both jammers leaving the Trail Appliances jam line as the whistle blows. And it is a penalty. It's a multiplayer penalty by the look of it, being given to the Ziggy for the Thunder. So it is a power jam for Joe Means Joe, who is lead jammer for the Bombs. Joe Means Joe now coming back to the pack. Going to look for some points. Joe fighting to get through that points. Ziggy released the penalty box back on the track. There goes Joe Means Joe. 4 on the board for the Bombs. Ziggy also out of the pack as well. Now in a scoring position. Joe Means Joe coming back to the pack now, looking for more points and calling it just as Ziggy comes into the pack. Great timing for that call. 1 point up there for the Bombs, giving him a 5-point jam, taking our score to 14 for Thunder, 20 for the Bombs. Birdie up for Thunder with the star and Sriracha for the Bombs. Both jammers again fighting for position. Birdie being recycled to the back. Sriracha still up at the front, up against the tripod of Thunder blockers. Now being helped out. Rennie up there trying to break up the blockers. Didn't quite make it. Both jammers going recycle again. And it is Thunder picking up lead. Birdie out, heading for the pack. Birdie now back into the pack. Sriracha still stuck there. And Birdie with 4 points on the board for Thunder. Birdie through the pack once more with 4 points up for Thunder. Sriracha finally in a scoring position, but Birdie's back to the pack looking for more points. Sriracha coming into the pack on the outside line. Birdie calling it off. 3 points for Thunder being given. And 3 points for the Bombs. That takes our score after 7 jams. 25 points for Thunder, 23 points for the Bombs, with 17 minutes left to go in this first half here on the West Legal track number 2. Track number 2. Big Papa and Mac Daddy, the next 2 jammers. Big Papa getting released as the no pack gets called. Big Papa now our lead jammer. Mac Daddy also in a scoring position, but it's Big Papa going to hit the pack first. It's a 4-on-2 in the pack in favor of Thunder as well. And big power. 2 points being given. 2 points being given to Thunder as well. Sorry, 1 point being given to Thunder. Closing the gap in the score, 26 to Thunder, 25 to the Bombs. 1 point in this game. Smash and Dash taking the star once more for the Bombs, and Ziggy for Thunder. Ziggy up at the front, holding that line beautifully on the outside of turn number 1. But up against a solid tripod from the Bombs. Smash and Dash now taking the inside line, picking up lead for the Bombs. Ziggy recycled back. Smash and Dash heading to the back. Smash and Dash almost through, but getting caught up. Huntress is there trying to help them out. Ziggy being held up at the back by the Bombs blockers. Oh, and a big hit there from Rennie on Ziggy. But Ziggy is finally through. Smash and Dash calls it. 4 points on the board for the Bombs. And a team timeout being called by the Bombs. So just a reminder of our vendors. On track number 1, we have the Alberta College of Massage Therapy with on-site massage students to help ease the aches and pains from on and off the track. Bad Girlfriend Skates are right here on track number 2 with all their roller skate apparel, gear, accessories, and more. Of course, the Calgary Junior Roller Derby and Calgary Roller Derby are also on track number 2. Home of levels 1, 2, and 3 skaters from within Calgary. One of the many junior leagues within Alberta. You can check out their table for more info. If you want to learn to skate, that's the place to go. Looking for some items from the Calgary Roller Derby auction hosted online, you can look no further. Stop and pick up your item before the end of the weekend. Also on track number 2, Creepy Creatures Canada, one-of-a-kind terror bears. Resin art and abstract paintings for your choosing. That's the end of the timeout. Skaters heading back to the track. On the trail appliance is Jamline, Joe Means Joe for the Bombs, and Birdie for Thunder. And it is a cutting penalty against Birdie. Nope, not sure. Birdie not sure either, but Birdie's recycling, so it obviously not. Yep, it is Birdie heading to the penalty box. It's a power jam, Joe Means Joe and the Bombs. A little bit of uncertainty there as to whether that was a penalty on Birdie or not. Turns out it was, giving the Bombs this 30-second power jam advantage. Joe Means Joe up against that 4 wall of Bombs. Joe Means Joe getting helped out by their blockers. Birdie now released from the penalty box. Joe Means Joe is out first, picking up lead, but Birdie's right there attacking Joe Means Joe. Joe Means Joe stays on their feet. Birdie goes down for a second. Both skaters back up, heading to the pack. jammers heading into the pack at about the same time. Birdie popping out first with 4 on the board before Joe Means Joe calls it. Giving them the 4 points, the only 4 points of that jam. A score after 10 jams, 30 points for the Thunder and 31 points for the Bombs. The Bombs being given the last 2 points there at the end of that jam. So still only 1 point in this game. We're going to have an exciting game here at Flat Track Fever 2026. Big Papa taking the star for Thunder. Sriracha once more for the Bombs. And Big Papa being given lead for Thunder. Sriracha making a break on the outside line. Turn number 1 out of the pack. But Big Papa going to hit the pack first. Look for points. Sriracha hard on the heels. Big Papa taking a hit on the outside, turn number 1, and calling from the floor. Two points being given to Bombs. The refs are huddling, and 3 points being given to Thunder. I would say this is an official timeout. And looks like the refs have broken their pack. And there's the whistle, so we are all good. Timeout being called by Thunder. For our vendors, Derby Girl Chocolates on track number 2 with fun derby and non-derby themed homemade chocolates. Friday Socks are right here on track number 1, offering purposely mismatched socks. I think they've been raiding my closet. Full Mobility Chiropractic on track number 1 on to treat skaters and officials. You can book your appointment today, offering a Flat Track Fever special, which includes $50 worth of treatments and custom-made orthotics for $300. You don't want to pass up these amazing prices. MyoLab, we're here on track number 2. Move More Osteopathy on track number 1. They're here to connect with the roller derby community regarding movement, recovery, performance, and overall quality of life. Pop by the booth today to learn more. Oh, and they're offering glitter tattoos. Nerd on track number 1 for your gear and accessories. If you're having issues with the skates, you can see Pro Projectile for a little skate maintenance. That is the end. So we have 2 jammers back on the Trail Appliances jam line. Ziggy taking the star for Thunder and Mac Daddy for the Bombs. Ziggy getting released as a no pack gets called. Ziggy with lead jammer position. Maddie still stuck in the pack. Ziggy coming around to the back and to look for some points. And Ziggy blasts through on the inside line and puts 4 on the board for Thunder. Just as Mac Daddy gets released. And a quick shout out and a thank you to our medics. We could not do this without our team of medics on both tracks. Quick check of our scoreboard with just under 11 minutes left to play. The Bombs with 33 points, with a 4-point lead. Thunder at 37 points. We're into the next jam. The Genuine penalty box is pretty full, pretty stacked. 2 of the Bombs blockers and 1 Thunder blockers. So we are in a 3-on-2 pack in favor of Thunder. That's the whistle signifying the restart. Joe Means Joe takes the start for the Bombs and birdie for Thunder. So we are down the Bombs with 1 blocker. Birdie picking up lead. Bombs 2 more blockers hitting the track with the Thunder blocker. Joe Means Joe in a scoring position as well, but Birdie blows through the pack on the inside line and puts 4 on the board for Thunder and calls the jam off, holding the Bombs to 0. Opening up Thunder's lead, 41 to 33 points with 10 minutes left to play in this first half. Game number 1 here at Flat Track Fever 2026. Big Papa taking the start for Thunder and smash and dash for the Bombs. And it's Big Papa with lead for Thunder. Smash and dash with a pass. That is Dame Tamer with the star on the helmet now for the Bombs. Big Papa stuck behind that Bombs tripod at the back of the pack. Multiplayer being called. Big Papa recycled to the back. 2 of the Bombs is heading to the Genuine penalty box. And Big Papa coming through with another 4 points on the board for Thunder. Dame Tamer still stuck in the pack, trying to get out. Big Papa coming round to the pack once more, looking for points, and dances around the outside line, finds 4 of them. Both teams' blockers up to full strength, 4-on-4, empty penalty box. And Big Papa coming through once more with another 4 points for Thunder. As the jam times out. Opening up their score, that was a 12-point jam. Thunder with 53 points. The Bombs with 33 points. Now 20 points in it and 7 minutes left to play in this first half. Ziggy taking a star for Thunder and Sriracha for the Bombs. The Genuine penalty box is nice and clear. 80 wheels on the track. Everybody get to play. And it is the Bombs. Sriracha with lead out first. Sriracha now coming round looking for points. Zig getting recycled again. Sriracha being held up at the back of the pack by the Thunder blockers. And calling it off. Sriracha had enough. 4 points on the board for the Bombs, holding Thunder 2-0. Mac Daddy up on the Trail Appliances jam line. Up next with Birdie, the two jammers. And it is the Thunder, Birdie with lead. Mac Daddy stuck this time in the pack, making a break for it on the outside line. Mac Daddy gets out of the pack in a scoring position just as Birdie hits the pack looking for points. And Birdie calling it before Mac Daddy gets there. 0 points for the Bombs, 3 points for Thunder. So with 5 minutes left to play, a score of 56 points for Thunder, 37 points for the Bombs. Next two jammers are up already. Big Papa for Thunder and Joe Means Joe for the Bombs. Bombs lose the pivot to the penalty box. Big Papa up at the front of the pack, getting out of the pack first, being given lead for Thunder. Joe Means Joe still up against the Thunder blockers. Up at the front of the pack, is extending out. Just as Big Papa gets the back, Joe Means Joe now in a scoring position. Big Papa fighting for points in the pack. And calling it off before Joe gets to the pack. 2 points on the board for Thunder. So with 3.5 minutes left to play, 37 points for the Bombs, 58 points for Thunder in the first half. Next two jammers are on the line. Under starters orders. Smash and Dash taking the staff for the Bombs. Ziggy for Thunder. Genuine penalty box is once again nice and empty. Everybody on the track. And it is Ziggy with lead for Thunder. Smash and Dash with the star passed over to Miss Kuzi. And jam gets called. 2 points for Thunder, holding Bombs to 0 once again. Opening up Thunder's lead, 60 points to 37 as we go into the final 2.5 minutes of the first half. Birdie taking the star for Thunder and Sriracha for the Bombs. The genuine penalty box once again is empty. So we have 80 wheels on the track. Rennie recycling Birdie to the back of the pack. Sriracha now getting recycled. Birdie getting recycled. Still no lead. Birdie up against the bomb's tripod. Sriracha recycled once again behind the Thunder tripod. And again. And it is Birdie popping out of the front of the pack first for Thunder, picking up lead. And Sriracha also released from the pack. But it's Birdie coming round first to the pack, looking for points and calling it as they see Sriracha coming down the straightaway. 2 points on the board for Thunder. Holding the bombs to 0 once again. Mac Daddy taking the next star for the bombs. Big Papa for Thunder. Mac Daddy pushing hard, trying to get through, but it's Big Papa with lead out of the pack first. Mac Daddy also out, chasing down Big Papa. Big Papa hits the pack, calls it. Holding bombs to 0 with 1 point for Thunder. Every point counts, and we are in intermission. With our score going into halftime, the NF Bombs are 37 points. Tri-City Thunder with 63. We are going to be back in around about 15 minutes time to do the second half of this first game on day number 3, Flat Track Fever 2026. Thanks for joining us. Again, my name is Mike the Mike. We're going to see you in about 15 minutes. Alrighty, welcome back everybody to Flat Track Fever 2026. We are here on the West Legal track number 2. This is the first game of day 3 of Flat Track Fever 2026. This is the Tri-City Thunder up against the NF Bombs. And going into the second half, we're going to have a nice big clean 30 minutes on the clock. Just in case you've forgotten, my name is Mike the Mike. It's my pleasure to be here today. A score, quick reminder, the Bombs on 37 points and the Thunder at 63 points. The skaters are up ready on the Trail Appliances jam line, but the refs are still huddling. So we are, of course, going to wait for them. Here they come, our phenomenal crew. So going into the first jam of the second half, we have 2 jammers on the line. That is Birdie for the Thunder and Joe Means Joe for the Bombs. The penalty box is empty, so 80 wheels right here on the track. That's the whistle, the start. And they're under starter's orders. And they're off. There they go. First jam of the second half of the first game at Flat Track Fever 2026 on the West Legal track number 2. And it is Birdie out first with lead for Thunder. Joe Means Joe still stuck in the pack up against the Thunder 3-wall at the front, but Birdie coming round to the back, hitting the Bombs blockers, looking for points. And it's a star pass. Huntress taking the star now for the Bombs, and it is a cutting penalty being given to Birdie. So it's a power jam for Huntress and the Bombs. The pack puts the speed on. Huntress is right there up at the front of the pack, fighting to get through. Huntress known to be a fast, hard-hitting skater, but a great jammer. Thunder with a tripod up the front, holding Huntress back. And Huntress is out with 4 on the board for the Bombs, just as Birdie gets released from the penalty box. Nerdy back on the track now. We are going to see a full 2-minute jam. Huntress back looking for points as well. Birdie makes a break on the inside line and puts 4 on the board for Thunder. Huntress out as well. 4 up there for the Bombs. Birdie coming round to the pack first. Huntress joining them. Huntress on the outside line, making a break, dancing along the line. Beautifully done. 4 points to the Bombs. As the jam times out, Thunder being given 4 points as well. So after the first jam of the second half, Tri-City Thunder with 71 points and the Bombs on 49 points. Sriracha with the next jammer for the Bombs and Big Papa for Thunder. There they go. The genuine penalty box is empty once again, so everybody gets to play. Sriracha blasts through on the outside line for the Bombs and picks up lead. Big Papa also in a scoring position, chasing down Sriracha, but Sriracha heading into the pack super fast. On the outside line, Big Papa coming into the back of the pack as well. No pack being called. Sriracha gets let out of the front. 4 points to the Bombs. and calling the jam off, with 4 points being given to Thunder as well. Mac Daddy taking the next star for the Bombs and Ziggy for Thunder. The pack down to 3-on-3, one blocker from each in the box. And it is Thunder, Ziggy being given lead. Mac Daddy also out. But it's Ziggy heading into the pack first. The pack now is a 3-on-2 in favor of the Bombs. Ziggy takes the in line, calls it from the knees. Two points being given to Thunder, holding the Bombs to 0. Next two jammers on the line. Smash and dash for the Bombs, birdie for Thunder. I'm just trying to figure out the pack for Thunder. We have 3 of their blockers at the moment in the box, or waiting to go to the box. So it is a 3-on-1 in favor of the Bombs. It looks like they're just at. Good chance to tell you about Phoenix Fudge on track number 2, selling fudge, baked goods, stickers, and art posters. So come and see them on track number 2 if you want to get your sweet on. So Proud are right there on track number 1, along with the Queer Gift Company with queer-themed tees, hoodies, and other accessories. All designs are family-friendly and celebrate pride and the queer community. And also Untamed Fernie on track number 1, designs made for the busy woman who wants to look and feel fabulous. Untamed focuses on creating everyday clothing that's practical and comfortable while also being fun, flattering, and unique. Each piece is enhanced with a special touch by collaborating with local artists, printing their artwork onto fabric and incorporating their designs into the creations. And also on track number 1 is Valmira Delights, gluten-free snacks and cake pops. Ooh, cake pops. So good. So it looks like things are figuring themselves out for this official timeout. So thanks for joining us here on the West Legal track number 2 on Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there. Hope you're having a great day. That's the end of the timeout being called. Smash and Dash and Birdie, the two jammers on a 3-on-1 pack. And it is Smash and Dash with lead, of course. Couple more blockers joining the pack. Smash and Dash back to the pack, looking for points already. And Smash and Dash calling it off with 4 points on the board for the Bombs. Creeping their score back. The Bombs now with 57 points. Thunder with 77. So 20 points in it. That's still anybody's game. Next two jammers are on the track already. On the Trail Appliances jam line. Big Popper taking the star for Thunder, and Joe Means Joe for the Bombs. Now we're back to full strength pack, 4 on 4. Joe Means Joe picks up lead for the Bombs. And Big Popper heads into the penalty box for a multiplayer. 30-second power jam for Joe Means Joe for the Bombs. Joe Means Joe up in the pack already. The Bombs blockers coming in to break up that tripod. No pack being called. The Bombs blockers come to join the pack. Joe Means Joe calls it. 3 points for the Bombs. Holding Thunder to 0. Bombs trying to creep their score back. 60 points to 77. Closing that gap. We are going to start with a power jam. Sriracha, the only jammer on the track for the Bombs. Big Popper in the box still. There they go. Sriracha taking a run to the pack. Big Popper getting released from the penalty box. Sriracha being given lead, putting the Bombs into a scoring position. Big Popper being held up. Still got to get through the pack. Sriracha coming around to the back, hitting the tripod of Thunder blockers. Big Popper taking some big hits up at the front of the pack and getting recycled behind the Bombs blockers. Sriracha up at the front now, up against the last two Thunder blockers, pushing hard, taking a knee. Big Popper at the back of the pack against the tripod of Bombs blockers. Bam for the Bombs, trying to help out Sriracha up at the front of the pack. And Sriracha gets through. 4 points on the board for the Bombs. And a forearm penalty called on one of the Thunder blockers. Sriracha back to the pack, getting recycled. Sriracha still recycled once again. Big Popper gets out the front of the pack as the jam time's out. Bombs being given 3 points, holding Thunder to 0. Bombs creeping their score up, 67 points to Thunder's 77. Anybody's game. Ziggy taking the next star for Thunder, and Mac Daddy for the Bombs. Both jammers pushing hard. Lead jammer position. Mac Daddy getting recycled. Ziggy now getting recycled as well. Mac Daddy is up at the front of the pack. Got an opportunity to get through and being given lead. Mac Daddy calling it from the knees. Ziggy was out heading for the pack. Mac Daddy saw them and called it off. Next two jammers are ready already. A smash and dash for the Bombs, and birdie once again for Thunder. 20 minutes left on the clock. Both jammers up against some hard blockers. Huntress getting sent to the penalty box for directional. With 35 seconds in, no lead yet. Both jammers fighting hard. Thunder with a one blocker advantage. Both is looking for a space to get through, not finding it. Huntress getting released from the box. Undoubtedly going to come in and help out. We're now over a minute, still no lead. Smash and dash recycled once again. Some superb blocking from both teams. And smash and dash makes it out the front, picks up lead for the Bombs. Finally, with 20 seconds left to go in this jam. Question is, can he get through the pack in time? Smash and dash back looking for points. And calling it off. 3 points being given to the Bombs, holding Thunder to 0. What a hard jam that was. So our score, the Bombs 70 points, Thunder with 77. Just under 18 minutes left to play in the second half. Joe means Joe taking the start for the Bombs. Big Papa for Thunder. Both jammers off with a 4-on-3 pack in favor of the Bombs. And a 4-arm. Big Papa heading to the penalty box. So that means Joe gets let through and gets lead on a power jam for the Bombs. Joe means Joe heading into the pack. Now looking for those points. It is a full pack 4-on-4. Joe means Joe up against the tripod at the front of the pack. The Bombs sending their blockers in to help out. The pack starts moving faster. Big Papa getting released from the penalty box to the back of the pack, of course. Joe means Joe still fighting hard at the front to try and get through that tripod of Thunder blockers. And the jam gets called. 3 points for the Bombs, holding Thunder to 0. The Bombs creeping their score back. Now only 4 points in this. Thunder with 77, the Bombs on 73 points, 16 minutes on the clock. Empty penalty box going into the next jam. Sriracha and Ziggy, the next two jammers. Once again, some superb blocking from both of these teams. Not letting anyone through. Eventually, Thunder getting out. Ziggy being given lead. And Sriracha also out in a scoring position. Ziggy now heading into the pack. And making a break on the outside line, 4 on the board and calling it just as Sriracha comes in. Sriracha unable to get any points before that fourth whistle blew. Our next two jammers are on the line already. Birdie jamming for Thunder, Mac Daddy for the Bombs. We are 14 minutes left in this first game here at Flat Track Fever 2020. We're into the second half of the second half. And Birdie making a break for it on the outside line, but getting caught up by Huntress. Gets through anyway, being given lead for Thunder. Mac Daddy recycled star off the helmet. Birdie back into the pack. Mac Daddy with a star pass. Miss Kuzi with the star on the helmet for the Bombs. Birdie sent to the penalty box. It's a power jam for Miss Kuzi. Blast down the outside line. Beautifully done. Nice move. 4 points on the board for the Bombs. Miss Kuzi back into the pack. Taking an outside line. Didn't quite make it. Still on the power jam. Birdie finally being released from the penalty box and a power jam. Miss Kuzi sent to the box now. It's a power jam the other way. Thunder on a power jam. Birdie out with 4 on the board for Thunder. Birdie back into the pack. Looking for points and finds them. Jumps through on the inside line. Oh no, it's a cutting penalty. Back to the box. The genuine penalty box, that is going to release Miss Kuzi immediately. Miss Kuzi was on their feet as the jam times out. The Bombs put another 4 points on the board, 3 being given to Thunder. So with just over 12 minutes left to play, the Bombs on 80 points, Thunder with 89, 9 points in this. And a team timeout being called by the Bombs. So don't forget, the tournament MVP vote will close at halftime of the 3 p.m. game today. So please vote using the QR code at the CCRD merge table or post it all over socials. And of course, on the posters posted near the entrance to the rinks. If you want to vote for the tournament MVP, that's the place to go. Please vote. As I said, the voting will close at halftime of the 3 p.m. game today. Don't forget, you can get some extra raffle tickets available by a $2 donation. They can be collected at the Chinook City merch table. Some phenomenal donations being made, including the Carriage House with a $350 donation of the Dine and Stay package, which includes a one-night stay in a premium room with a full hot breakfast buffet for up to 2 people, including a $50 credit to any of their 4 food and beverage outlets. That's a $350 donation, and that expires on May 31st. So if you want to take your special person to that, that's the place to go. Go and get your $2 donation tickets. Devon and Lang also donated a $150 gift card. Belmira Delights with a gift card as well. The Hanger Museum, family membership for 1 year, and Winsport family mini golf package valued at $88. And of course, don't forget to support our vendors, the Alberta College of Massage Therapy on track number 1, Bad Girlfriend Skates on track number 2, the Calgary Roller Derby and the Calgary Junior Roller Derby on track number 2 as well. Go check them out if you want to learn to skate or you want to join roller derby in any form as a volunteer or as a ref or player. That's the place to go. Creepy Creatures Canada on track number 2 as well, with one-of-a-kind terror bears, resin art and abstract paintings. Derby Girl Chocolates on track number 2 with fun derby and non-derby themed homemade chocolates. Friday Socks, they've been raiding my closet. They are offering purposely mismatched socks, not really up and new. What a fun way to go, though. Don't forget to support our vendors while you're here. Looks like the timeout is coming to an end here on the West Legal track number 2. That is the end of the timeout. We have one jammer on the track. That's Joe Means Joe for the Bombs. Birdie in the box. All the pack lined up on the WFTDI pivot line. Joe Means Joe back on the trailer plan jam line. Now up against the tripod of Thunder blockers up at the front of the pack. Birdie released from the penalty box. Birdie has to also do an initial pass, but Joe Means Joe breaks out, picks up lead for the Bombs. Birdie stuck at the back of the pack just as Joe Means Joe comes through looking for points. And Joe Means Joe finds them. 4 points to the Bombs. Birdie still stuck in the pack. Joe Means Joe heading to the back as well, looking for more points for the Bombs. Birdie out now in a scoring position. And Joe Means Joe calls it off, putting them at 84 points. Sorry, 86 points to Thunder's 89. 3 points in it, 10 minutes to go. This is when it gets exciting. Smash and Dash taking the star for the Bombs up next, and Big Papa for Thunder. There's the whistle. Both jammers going for it. A 4-on-3 pack in favor of the Bombs. Papa taking a fall to the inside line on turn number 1, getting recycled behind Huntress. Smash and Dash makes a break on the outside of turn number 1, picks up lead for the Bombs. Papa also out in a scoring position. Smash and Dash in the pack looking for points and calling it off. But there's a cutting penalty. 4 points looked like they've been given to the Bombs. There was a cutting penalty, I think, to Huntress of the Bombs heading into that. So we have a 1 point lead for the Bombs. 90 points against Thunder's 89. With just over 9 minutes left to play in the second half. Sriracha and Ziggy are our next two jammers, with a 4-on-3 to the Thunder's advantage. Huntress still sitting in the box. Ziggy getting recycled. Oh, Ziggy sent to the penalty box. It is a power jam for the Bombs. And there we go, Sriracha with lead on this power jam. Our game clock showing over 8 minutes to go. The Bombs in lead on a power jam. Sriracha back into the fast-moving pack. Ziggy released from the box, back into the pack as well. And Ziggy makes a break down the outside line, puts themselves into scoring position. Sriracha calling it off with another 4 points on the board for the Bombs. So that was the first official review of the game. Thunder calling for a penalty. And the refs did see a blocking with the head penalty. So keeping their official and a penalty being given against the Bombs. Sriracha taking a seat in the penalty box. So quick reminder, we are just over seven minutes left to play. For the Bombs at 94, Thunder at 89. One jammer on the track. That jammer is birdie for Thunder. Sriracha in the penalty box for a 30-second blocking with the head penalty. And birdie making a break on the inside line, picking up lead for Thunder. Gonna make the most of this power jam if they can. Birdie back into the pack, looking for points. Sriracha getting released from the penalty box. Birdie out with 4 points on the board. Sriracha has to do their initial pass, of course. Birdie coming round back to the pack. There goes Sriracha, putting themselves into a scoring position. Birdie dances around the inside line, puts another 4 points on the board for Thunder. Sriracha now coming round to the back of the pack, looking for points. Pack puts on some speed. Sriracha catching up. Sriracha involved with the blockers. Birdie back into the pack as well. Sriracha getting recycled way back. And Birdie calling the jam off. 3 points being given to Thunder, 2 points to the Bombs. Taking our score for the Bombs to 96 points and Thunder just on the 100 with 6 minutes left to play in this second half. This game number 1, track number 2, the West Legal track number 2 here at Flat Track 2026. Mac Daddy, the next jammer for the Bombs. Big Papa, Mac Daddy blasts out on the inside line of the pack, picks up lead. Big Papa trying to get through, getting caught up by Huntress just at the last minute, but gets through anyway, puts themselves in a scoring position. Mac Daddy back into the pack, now fighting for points and calling it off. 2 points being given to the Bombs. Closing that gap, the Bombs now with 98, Thunder with 100, 5.5 minutes left to play. New jammer for Thunder. This is Smashin' Good Time taking the star for the first time in this game. Up against Joe Means Joe for the Bombs. We are into the last 5 minutes of this game. Smashin' Good Time picks up lead for Thunder. Joe Means Joe still stuck in the pack. Smashin' Good Time's back into the pack, looking for points and finds them. Blast through the pack, 4 points on the board for Thunder. Joe Means Joe now in a scoring position as well. But it's Smashing Good Times coming around back to the pack, looking for those points. Joe Means Joe far behind them. Smashing Good Times calls it before Joe gets to the pack. Holding the Bombs to 0 points. With one extra point being given to Thunder, so that was a 5-point jam. Taking our score, 98 for the Bombs, 105 for Thunder. 4 minutes left to go. Empty penalty box, 2 jammers on the line. Smash and Dash taking the star for the Bombs. Big Papa for Thunder. Smash and Dash for the Bombs being given lead. Out skating fast, get to the pack. Big Papa being held up by the Bombs blockers. Smash and Dash heading into the pack, hitting up against the tripod of Thunder blockers. So it's a 3-on-3 pack. Big Papa gets released and is in a scoring position. The blockers are heading to the box. Smash and Dash putting 3 points on the board. Taking the score, 101 for the Bombs, 105 for Thunder. 3 minutes left to play. The next pack's going to be 3-on-2 in favor of Thunder. Birdie taking the star for Thunder. Sriracha for the Bombs. There's the whistle. Birdie tries the outside line, gets taken out by the Bombs blockers, but picks up lead anyway. Thunder with lead. Birdie being recycled though. Got to get through again. Sriracha being held up at the back of the pack by that Thunder tripod. All the Bombs blockers coming to help Sriracha out in a scoring position. Birdie calls it 0-0 points. 2 minutes now left to play. 4 points in this game. Ziggy taking the next star for Thunder. Mac Daddy for the Bombs. 4 points in it, 2 minutes. There's the whistle. Ziggy taking a run down the outside line, getting caught up against Huntress. But getting lead anyway. Position. Mac Daddy still caught up in the pack. Ziggy coming around to the pack, looking for points now. Taking the outside line, finds them. Beautifully done by Ziggy. 4 points on the board. Mac Daddy still in the pack. Ziggy coming around for a second pass. Taking a hit, but finds another 4 points anyway. Oh, picks up. It's a Mac Daddy. Not what Ziggy wanted at all. Mac Daddy still got to get themselves into a scoring position. Oh, Mac Daddy now heading to the box. That's going to release Ziggy straight away. That's the jammer. Musical chairs, Ziggy back on the track in a power jam. We are going to see the full 2-minute jam. Multiplayer being called. One more blocker for the bombs heading to the box. Ziggy is the only jammer up there. Huntress heading to the box as well for a high block penalty. The bombs depleted pack trying to hold Ziggy back. Can't do it. 4 points to Thunder. Ziggy coming round to the pack once again. Mac Daddy getting released from the penalty box. And Ziggy blasts through on the inside line. Another 4 points for Thunder. Mac Daddy being held up. Ziggy coming round once more. Getting hit out to the back. Jam clock is timing out. There it is. That's the end of the game. What a way to finish. All down to that final jam. So we have an unofficial score. The Bombs with 101 and an unofficial winners with 121 points is the Tri-City Thunder. We're just waiting for that official whistle to go to make our score final. Making sure nobody has any official reviews or anything. The refs are conversing here. They're just making sure that there are no official reviews being claimed or anything is amiss. There it is, everybody. That is our final score. The Bombs with 101 are winners this morning. The Tri-City Thunders with 121. You can come up and give these skaters some love. Put your hands together, make some noise for the Tri-City Thunder. And of course, a really well fought game. Here they come. It is the NF Bombs. So a big thank you to all our refs, officials, NSOs, everybody else who helped put this first game together, to our tech crew. We're going to do some MVPs in just a second. Good to go. Okay, everybody, we are going to do some MVPs. So, for the MVPs for the NF Bombs, your MVP blocker is number 911, Killerella. Where are they? 911, Killerella, where are ya? Here they come. And your MVP jammer is number 56. And for our winners this morning, for the Thunder, your MVP blocker, number 71, Maggie Middleton. And finally, the MVP jammer for Thunder, 1812, Bill. There they go. Put your hands together, make some noise for these two fabulous teams, the Tri-City Thunder and the NF Bombs. Once again, thank you for joining us online and in person here at Flat Track Fever 2026. This was our first game. We are going to see you at 11 o'clock for our next one. My name is Mike the Mike, and I'm out for now.